morning. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right?
It is Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Hey, Tracy, Suzanne, thank you. Get started in just a minute. Always waiting. Brittany, it's good to see you.
I was muted. I know I miss seeing your all's faces.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you. How's everything over at the schools?
It's going well. It's busy. Now we're preparing for 5 days. So things are definitely changing, but hopefully in a good way.
Good. I'd like to. We'll go ahead and get started. We are still waiting on a few people, but they can jump in. But I have Tracy and Suzanne with us today from Prevent Child Abuse, North Carolina. I never know whether to say Prevent Child Abuse, North Carolina, or North Carolina Prevent Child Abuse. But they're here with us. So I'd like for us to all kind of introduce ourselves. And we may have some new people on too that we don't know. So if you'll just tell us your name and tell us what you do, or where you're at, and I'll go ahead and start. For those that don't know me, my name is Linda Turlington, and I kind of took the lead on starting this resilience initiative about a year ago. So we're moving right through the pandemic. So we're still trying to figure some things out, and I think Suzanne's going to help us with that going forward and keep us on track. But I'm with the Harnett County Partnership for Children, and I am the program coordinator here. So that's me. Melanie, you want to go next?
Hi, I'm Melanie Jacobson. I'm an early childhood program specialist at the Harnett County Partnership for Children. So I mainly work in the child care centers, helping them get ready for their star rated license.
And then just jump in.
I'm Brittany Gainey. I serve students within Harnett County Schools as a mental health support specialist. So we provide school-based mental health services.
Very important role. Next.
Hello. I'll go next if you want me to, Linda.
Sure, Lena.
I'm Lena Jest, and I work at the Partnership for Children here in Harnett County, and I'm program support specialist, mainly focusing on providing pre-K to children and families in our county.
I'll go next. I'm Sasha Swaim. I'm the family advocate over at the Harnett County Children's Advocacy Center. And we are being joined today by Frances, our intern. So I'll let her introduce herself.
Okay. Hey, Frances.
Hi, my name is Frances. I'm a third-year student, social work student at Campbell University, and I am an intern at the Harnett County CSC Center.
Perfect. I'm glad you could join us today.
Thank you.
Hey, I'm Adrienne Standish with Lee Harnett Family Support Program, which is a program of North Carolina Families United and Sandhill Center.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Carmen Martel with the Harnett County Partnership for Children. I'm a family facilitator here, family support specialist here, and I'm COP, or Circle of Parents Facilitator, and also Kaleidoscope Facilitator. And I'm glad that I'm here today with you guys.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Donna Sawyer, and I'm a retired teacher and excited to be part of your group. And I've fallen off the radar lately. Mom has had heart failure several times, and she's having recurring strokes. So there's 24/7 care. But the good news is she is recovering beautifully with just minor issues now. We're working through those. So I'm happy to see all of you again today.
Well, we're glad you're here, Donna. Been thinking about you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm Janine Bogwitz. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for the Harnett County Partnership for Children. And I also help out with the Resilience Initiative for Harnett County's Facebook page and social media.
Okay, who's next? Rashonda, have you want to tell us who you are? Oh, we lost her. She's with SAFE here in Harnett County. It's the Safe House. So maybe she'll join us back. So we have, I want to say that going forward, I'm going to put out a poll sometime this week and ask people about the timing of these meetings, because we've been consistently meeting at 10 o'clock. And I can't tell you how many people respond to my emails saying they can't attend. So, and then a lot of people, like we had 14, and that wasn't counting me, you know, so we've had 14 people, but a lot of them's not here. So I feel like this time of day is just not working for people. So I really want to get a feel of a better timing during the day. So we'll have more people join us. So that's what I would like to do. So Suzanne, you want to introduce yourself and we'll jump right in with you guys, and you can share with us how you're gonna we can work in partnership together, and introduce yourself and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay, sure. Hey y'all, thanks for letting Tracy and me join you today. We both work at Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina, and one of the pieces of work that lives in our team is Connections Matter. So Connections Matter is an evidence-informed training and social norms campaign that is grounded in the protective factors. And it's right aligned with our work in terms of prevention. And we have some funding from the North Carolina Institute of Medicine through their Essentials for Childhood grant to work specifically in communities across the state to support your work in messaging and kind of creating a shared messaging using Connections Matter. So Tracy actually connected me with Linda just to talk about the opportunity and see if this is something that would be interesting to y'all. And so Linda, have you shared do you want me to go through the whole document, or?
I haven't shared any of the document. Let me tell you what I have done though. And so the group has been introduced to Connections Matter. Me and Carmen actually did a little, shortened version of that at our last meeting. And before then, I was telling them about you, and I was, saying that maybe we can partner somehow together, and that I would let them know, because, we were doing the meetings and stuff. So I just kind of kept them up to date, but I haven't told them that, that has worked out and that we will be partnering with you. So they do know about Connections Matter. Maybe a few of them weren't in our training. So yeah.
So as we thought about like the work that y'all are doing together, we kind of thought about maybe three different stages of your work. And stage one, this is just an idea, so I guess I'm kind of pitching it today. Stage one was to promote understanding and education among all of y'all, among all of the agencies and organizations in Harnett County and those you serve. Like, why are we forming this Resilient Harnett County committee and this work? Like, why are we really doing this work? So when I do communications, usually the first target audience is the internal audience, right? So like when we work with Department of Health and Human Services, before we talk about why the COVID vaccine is really important. We have to get buy-in from our own employees. So we're this phase one, or stage one, is that's kind of what we're doing, is we're using connection, we're proposing that we use Connections Matter as a way to ground and bring agencies and organizations in Harnett County around a shared message, to help kind of unite folks and get everybody on that same page, working under like a same shared vision. So what this work looks like operation, like what we could fund and what we could help support you with is doing a media campaign. So communication and messaging that would start with the agencies and organizations to, again, build that awareness with our kind of what I'm calling our internal audiences. And it also includes giving agencies and organizations tools that you can use to then continue that education outside of your agency with your constituents. So a media campaign, and I'll talk about like the assets, and then community-wide trainings, Connections Matter, community-wide trainings. So we have, and we also have pitched doing, creating some toolkits. So social media toolkit, social media posts, and resources and tools that then, and we can also help fund building like a resilient Harnett County landing page. So whenever we do a campaign, we want to have a call to action. So if, for instance, this is like part of what we propose is in terms of this education as a social media campaign, then what we want to do maybe is bring people back to the landing page to learn more about what you're doing and how they can get involved. We also can fund some resilience screenings across your county to help build, again, awareness and knowledge around like what is resilience and why is it important, and for businesses to know more about, for organizations, for schools, all of the folks that y'all work with. Right now they have a different model for this, and it is online. It is an online virtual screening. They provide a link, and we have to pay a fee, and we get the link. So we are just this very basic kind of building awareness about, like, really kind of the goal is sort of like for, I don't know, XYZ organization to like see y'all all sharing this and say, oh my gosh, I want to get involved. Like, I want to learn more about what you're doing. So it's really to, I guess if you want to boil it down, this first phase is like really to increase membership and buy-in into the work that you're already doing. We really believe at Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina, we do a lot of our work based on a collective impact model. So we work under a shared vision, system-wide with shared messaging. So, if everybody's working toward the same vision and saying the same thing, then you're more likely to increase your impact. And then we have a stage 2, which is really like once people know more about the work you're doing and like what is resilience and why is it even important for us to build a resilient Harnett County, then we're going to activate them and give them some actions to take by sectors. So part of this phase includes just kind of continuing to identify and capitalize on the work that you're doing. So we have this bank of information and knowledge of what's happening. Then by this time, hopefully you'll have people engaged and you'll be able to formalize sort of your leadership team and your action plan. And then we think it's important to think about, like, what are the action plans and the commitment steps by sector? For example, I have in here, let's say your priority sector is really building trauma-informed schools. Like that's something that's super important for y'all to do in Harnett County. Then, thinking about like, what do you need to do that? What trainings do you need to bring in? And what tools do you need to make that happen? And then we also have suggested some advocacy for policy change and some ideas for that. So our deliverables for the phase 1, which is just the general education and awareness, would be Connections Matter training with organizations and partners, a social media toolkit that we call it white labeled or can be co-branded. So basically we leave white space on these images that we'll create so anybody and everybody can put their logo on it. It's not like owned by one single person. We're also proposing that, and this is stuff that we can fund, creating either some yard signs or some window clings for partners so you can show solidarity and connectedness. I always use this as an example. I live very close to South Carolina. And so in Spartanburg, South Carolina, every childcare center or organization that receives some of their pre-K funding has these big yard signs. And so you drive around town and you're like, oh, I mean, the connectedness is so visible and the awareness of their work is really high. It's a really neat way to say like, we're all working together on this pre-K thing, learn more, they're called First Steps in South Carolina. Like they're like your Smart Start. So we thought it would be cool. Or, another example is like United Ways. When you go into a United Way funded organization, they have those United Way window clings. So some way to show that you're all working together to build a resilient Harnett County. We also think that using influencers from some of the organizations and we can help create some videos highlighting them or their work. So for instance, I don't know, if we said Brittany was an influencer, then we would give Brittany this cool t-shirt and give you tips and tools on how to create this video talking about like your work and how it is connected to resilient Harnett County, but also like promoting why we want Harnett County to be a resilient county. And we can help manage that process. And then we can help create content for newsletters, blog posts, op-eds, articles, whatever. We know that when people see things in more than one place, they're more likely to retain the information. So if I don't know, a PTA newsletter has information that goes out, and then the Harnett County Partnership for Children has a similar article that goes out, and then they're seeing something on social media and they're driving around town and they're seeing these signs. We hope that that will build momentum for the work that you're doing. So we also, in addition, can do some social media buys. So I don't know if this is something that we would want to do initially, but eventually we can boost posts and purchase media to increase the viewership and the reach of the social media posts. We can also talk about like, what does that landing page look like? There's some details to be thought through, like where is it going to live? What's the name of it? All of that kind of stuff. But that's one of the things that we could potentially fund. And then the signage and the window clings or window clings. So that's what we're pitching to y'all as a way to kind of get some momentum kind of with the internal audiences before we move to, like formalizing this work and really like thinking about what your strategic plan is moving forward. Any thoughts or feedback?
Oh, I have so many thoughts. This is really exciting to me because I do feel like, it's been a struggle to kind of move forward and with the messaging and trying to figure out, what do we do and how do we reach people? I love what you're bringing to this. Janine, I'm glad you're here with us today because Janine is our outreach coordinator. So she does our landing page and in our Facebook page and all that. So you can definitely speak with her in the future about how we can, be more present in the community with this. I know she'd appreciate that. And I wanted to show you guys. So, we have our, let me see, here it is. Let me see if I can share. Do you see my screen?
Yes.
So this is from our Harnett County Partnership for Children website, and Janine has made under news, events, and community our resilience initiative. I just wanted to remind you guys that this is the goals or the vision and the mission and those three main focus areas that we come up with as a group working together. And this ties really well into what Suzanne just said about, because our first is that awareness and collaboration, and we have to bring awareness to the community. And I think that and get on the same page with messaging and the wording that we use. So I think this is a good, definitely good. So if you guys get a chance, just go there and keep your eyes on things. We also have our newsletters, which I haven't done one in a while. And we have lots of training opportunities, and it tells the people who have been trained in these different trained to present this. And this says Melanie, but that should be Carmen. But we have several different trainings we can offer and stuff like that. So I just wanted to remind you that we do have this landing page, I guess is what you call it, on our Facebook page. What are everybody else's thoughts as you listen to Suzanne?
I think that makes a lot of sense. What you're saying is working on things internally before trying to get buy-in from, our constituents or, those who don't operate within this group. So like that makes a lot of sense. And that seems like something that's manageable and very realistic as far as a goal for us to meet.
Anybody else have any thoughts? I feel like we're missing a lot of people today too that consistently are able to attend our meetings. So this is being recorded, and if it's okay with everybody, I think I'm going to send the recording out to those people that's not here today so they can hear what Suzanne has shared with us.
I feel also as curious beings and visual people, when we see things like that, like the yard signs or the window clings, we tend to ask questions, so what is it? Even the t-shirt, because I have worn my work t-shirt to places and they're like, what is this? What do you do? So that creates, curiosity, and people start asking questions, which, at the end, that's one of the things we want to do. Create that awareness and education. So yes. And
one of the things that we got here from you guys was our Connections Matter, the little word bubble. So we're gonna, I think we talked to Carmen about making the bigger poster and working with Janine and maybe doing some why connection, matter, and stating some things and putting it on our resilience page, Facebook page. And so if we could get other people to do the same thing, I wonder how we could share that with the people that's in the group. Is there like a, is the bubble thing available for us to share online and stuff, or to share that they could actually download it?
Yes. Are you talking about, did you get the mailer for Child Abuse Prevention Month? Is that what you're talking about? Yes, we have some that we could send to people that they could just print out on just regular paper. And then once I guess we're out and about in person, we actually have some foam cardboard cutout ones that we could share with y'all. And some people have done some fun things with those kind of out in public.
Yeah, we could do that too. We were talking about, we got a poster maker, but we also have a Cricut. Can you do something like that with a Cricut? Maybe I'm not familiar with that stuff, but we'll figure something out and get it out to the rest of you guys, and maybe together we can join in our Resilience Facebook page with the word bubbles or why connections matter.
Yeah, and oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sasha.
I was just gonna say, I feel like we at the CAC are kind of a hindrance on this because we don't have a website, we don't have a Facebook page, but I'm happy to contribute in distributing or any way I can help. But
that would be fantastic. You could send, if we figure this out, and I'll need to talk with Janine further about how to go about doing this, but if we figure this out, then we can, as a group, maybe do some postings on our Facebook page. So you wouldn't have to necessarily do it on your own page, because like Brittany and them, they don't really have a page, I mean.
Oh, okay, gotcha now.
Yeah, so Adrian, I don't think you guys have a page. Yeah. So it wouldn't be on y'all's pages so much as it would be on our Resilience Initiative Facebook page, which I hope all of you are following. If you have Facebook. That's a whole nother issue, right? Who has Facebook and who doesn't? Any other thoughts? I just really, go ahead, Janine.
No, I was just going to say, I'm just excited, to be on the meeting and to have more of a strategy in place. I think Linda and I kind of, with everything going on, we kind of bounce back and forth some, oh, how about sharing this? What about this? And it's kind of a quick thing, but for there to be a plan and strategy in place I'm very excited about that. So
I feel like that's what we're missing is that strategic plan, and how to move forward with this. And I'm going to lose people if there's not a plan, if they don't feel like they're involved in something bigger than themselves. I know me and Melanie talk a lot about even, like Sasha's work, how does it connect with resiliency? How is that connecting, and can you share that with people, and do you connect what you do with the big resilience initiative, and where are your places in the community and helping people to be more resilient? And I think we're not even there yet, that there's a lot of people and maybe some churches out there that doesn't realize how important their role is in helping build resiliency and strong communities. And somebody at the food pantry that's not connecting that part of what they do is helping people to be resilient. I really want people to feel that they all play a role in this community. And that's why my first thought automatically is with agencies and organizations, because they're the ones out there connecting with the individuals.
And I love the idea of seeing things in more than one place. I think that's so key. And having Sasha maybe putting the window cling on one of her windows, it just creates more of a community and awareness, So I love that idea. Yeah, that's awesome.
Carmen, you reminded me I need to find my shirt. So I haven't seen it. It must got buried in my closet. I'll have to look for it. Carmen and I have been trained on Connections Matter. She's been trained in the faith-based version of it. And so we talked the other day, and we do want to do a whole community, invite the community to a training. April 13th is that's the week of the young child, and it's also Prevent Child Abuse Month. So we wanted to do something with Connections Matter, and want to provide a training. I would also love to do the resilience film, a screening online. It's been a year since we've done that in person, and we had a really good turnout. And I feel right after that COVID happened, so everything kind of we did a couple of community cafes before it kind of came to a standstill, but there was a lot of memento. I'm sorry, Melanie, I know you corrected me. Thank you. After that screening. So I'd love to be able to do that again online and really promote that to the community. So, I mean, in this, coming up in the spring or right before summer, I would, what do you guys think about that? And that's something, Suzanne, you can help us with then. Okay.
Love it.
So would it be helpful if maybe I put together like a timeline, maybe like more of a project plan, and could share that back with y'all. And you could, it may be something that's easily shared with other people to get buy-in and approval on, and then we can go.
That would be fantastic.
Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. And thank you for your work. And today, I believe you're off. So
Yes.
you're doing this even on your off time, and we so appreciate that. Does anybody else have any questions for Suzanne? Because I imagine she wants to go and be off. So it's not your birthday, is it?
No.
Okay, because I was going to sing happy birthday to you.
Oh.
It's probably a good thing it's not your birthday, because no one wants to hear me sing. But I just wanted to make sure. But anybody have any questions?
All right, well then I'll put this together and send it back out to y'all. And this is, remember, this is your work. These are just my suggestions. So feel free to say like, I hate that. Can you add that or whatever? Okay.
I really appreciate your work. Thank you so much.
Sure. Thanks guys. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.
Now, Tracy is here, and Tracy's got, let me see. I have to write this down, Tracy. Tracy is the Faith-Based Partnership Engagement Manager. Shoo, that's a lot of.
It is. I
there.
work. Yes. Thank you. I work mainly in the faith-based, but I also do partnership engagement with throughout the community in the different sectors as well. So yeah.
So Tracy wants to share with us what their work has been on building up their website and getting the Faith Connections Matter. I'm probably not saying all the right words, but information up there and Children's Sabbath. So she wanted to share some of that. Today, we don't have any pastors in our group, which we usually do, but I know that other members of this group are members of the faith community, so they can share information. And as we go forward, I really want us to think about what can we do as a group to reach out and connect to the faith community and share this information about Children's Sabbath. You know, how can we do that? And I'm struggling. I know Janine at one time tried to get emails for the different, faith-based, the faith-based community. And most of those emails are just generic, kind of just general, and you don't know where they're going to. And a lot of them got, denied. We couldn't get in. So Tracy, if you ever have any ideas of how we can build, a faith community here and to join us in this work so that they can be one of those sectors that's involved in Connections Matter, that would be fantastic if we can think about how to do that. So, okay, I'll stop talking.
No, that's perfect. I'm glad you said that, because I actually want to accomplish two things if I have some time. I want to show you Prevent Child Abuse's April's Prevent Child Abuse Month, correct? So I want to show you some of the tools and resources. And in fact, I'll show you where that sign is located on our website so that you can use that and those tools. And then we'll jump into a little bit of the faith-based. And yes, Linda, I am going to go back. I think maybe you and I can try to get on a call with Brian and some of the other pastors he recommended and see if we can't start there. Because what it really takes, and it's, like Linda Yao, it takes that one pastor and then moving it continually forward. Once they know what's happening, our faith communities are just incredible at taking things to action and not just sitting on the information. So,
and Brian was supposed to be in the meeting today, so he actually signed up. So, but something must have come up. So if we can schedule that, maybe with Brian and Linda. And, there's a couple of more that I think about that I would like to come to get involved. And those pastors can then reach other pastors, and then we can get the faith community involved, which is a huge community in Harnett County. Is the faith community.
Yes, absolutely. And so I go off on my tangents, my apologies. But our faith communities, they did a study of like 16 cities, and the faith communities provided like 40% of the social services for their communities. That's a large amount, and they absolutely should be at the table for this work for sure, because they do, and not just within their own congregations, but they do it throughout the entire community. So I do think it's really essential that we include them. And I think that, you know, after this, Linda, maybe you and I can schedule some time to talk and coordinate how we can get the faith community together. But if I have share screen capabilities, I'm not quite sure. I do.
Good, because I made it open to everybody.
You are awesome. So I'm going to share this. This is our main screen. So if you go into preventchildabuse.northcarolina.org or PCANC.org, it will pull up. You're going to come up to this main page, okay? You want to click here on Prevent Child Abuse Month. And you will jump, it will give you tons of different things to do. Okay, so this right here, this is a Zoom background. You can use that as a Zoom background for your meetings. And then you have these Facebook, Twitter activities that you can do. And again, I'm going to encourage this in our faith communities as well. Like, you know, use the social media toolkit, wear blue on April 1st, be a connection campaign. Policy page, you know, that's really important too when we're talking about different policies for those of you that are in that work, to let people know what are the policies that we're advocating for. We do have pinwheels. We don't have a ton of them that you can still order. We just have some guidelines due to COVID, and that's on this site as well, just to make sure that we're not you know, having large large meetings and things like that, that we're still maintaining safe practices. And then I'll go to this in a minute, the Children's Sabbath. But so if you go in here, be a social media connection campaign. If you click on this, here is the sign that you guys were talking about.
Okay, yes.
So that you can use that, and that's readily available for you. Then there's a Spanish version of it too. Then you have connections, campaign prompts, talking points, and caption ideas. And those are perfect for, you know, working with social media, even your website, things of that nature. Then here's the toolkit itself, Child Abuse Prevention Month. And again, it has a social media calendar that you can have. It has newsletter images, like here's a website banner. I'll show you this really quick if you can see it. Do you guys see that?
No, it's still the same page.
Okay, let me stop and I'll start again. Sometimes I think when you're going through the internet, it doesn't quite like you're doing so many different things.
There it is.
So, you know, something like this. But when I look at, okay, it's okay. When I'm going to go back to this website. So then again, you have all these different things. They have a frame that you can put on your Facebook profile, many different things. Again, a pinwheel selfie frame, which is super cute, that you can do. We really would love, you know, like the hashtags to do. And then, you know, you can incorporate yours as well, right? And then they have, you know, press releases, COVID-19 resources, you know, the talking points, proclamation, sample video, you know, a release form as well. So if you're taking pictures of children, et cetera, then you can have these release forms readily available. So I'm going to stop my share again. I'm going to go back to it because I don't want it to cut out on you. So before I share this, hang on. So I'll go to the Connections Matter one, but I'm going to show you the faith one. So I'm going to show you how to get there. Okay. And hopefully this will work because it doesn't like me going back and forth. So again, we'll go to the main page. If you go to preventchildabuse.northcarolina.org and you go into, in this top part, our work, you go into faith, you go into Connections Matter Congregation. Okay. I'm only seeing myself here. So when you scroll down, can you see it or no?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So when you scroll down, you'll get some information. You'll also see some, even your very own Solid Rock right there. You can click on there and see some of the work that you guys have been doing.
That mentions Harnett County Partnership for Children. Thank you, Tracy.
Do what?
I said it mentions Harnett County Partnership for Children.
It does. Yes. It mentions all your work. And so if you click on this, to become a Connections Matter congregation, really, what does that mean? And it just means that basically what Suzanne was outlining for you guys today, you know, what are some ways that you can raise awareness, put things to action, what tools and resources. So there's different options that we have here, and each of them you can click on. Now, one thing I did want to show you was, and that's another thing I want to talk to Linda about, but so right here it has social media. Click here for your social media toolkit, sample bulletin inserts, etc. So it has this here. But what I really like are these social graphics. And I hope it's coming to the one I want it to, and it's not. And you guys may not be able to see it now. It's not going to pull up for me. Shoot. So we have these social media images that I think would be so useful for, yeah, here we go. I'm not sure you're going to see it, but there's a bunch of them. And I think this would work really well with the work that you do. Like, for example, can you see my screen?
We can see it, but it's still on the toolkit link.
Okay.
It's not showing the.
It's not like me doing this.
Yeah, it's not showing what you want to show.
Okay, so this is one of them.
There we go.
These are one of the things like that you can do, and there's tons of different photos, and you can put that on anything that you want, right? I want to share one more with you here before we go back, but something just as simple as that. You know, again, just highlighting your work and the importance of those connections. I'll stop my share one more time and we'll go back into the website. So you can see different things there that you can have from Be a Connection, you go into the Connections Matter, and then you have resources down here. There's a flyer that Linda actually put together that has like a faith-based spin to it. We have a Connections Matter flyer, Faith One Pager, social media toolkit, community cafe resource guide.
I have to say, Donna actually did that.
Do what, Linda?
Donna, if it's the resource sheet, Donna was big. Donna was the one that came up with that whole format.
All right.
Wow. Information.
It is awesome. You guys, that's incredible. We've used Harnett County's work on here quite a bit.
Yes, I saw Lee County had used it.
Yes, yes. And one of the things that I really want our congregations to use and promote is the strengthen button, talking about the upstream approach. But when you come in here, you know, just safe policy guidelines. So we worked together with several different folks to put together a guideline, but we also have these checklists. So like, for example, I hope it lets me pull it up. Can you see that?
Yes, keeping kids safe.
Yep. And so it's just a checklist that congregations can use when they're working with their children.
I just love that. And was it me and you, Tracy, that talked about the vision I had of the church congregation just standing up and repeating the pledge of everyone taking that commitment to heart and protecting their children?
Absolutely.
Was that you and me that we're talking about?
It was.
Yeah,
it was.
That was really cool.
And I think we should do that. You know, I'm hoping, you know, that will be my goal for next year, is to, you know, have some signs like that readily available, or have those pledge cards available for the congregations, and like maybe they could put it in a collection basket and then it can be displayed, you know, somewhere in the congregation, all the different pledges that took it. Because as you guys know, we all have a role to play in prevention. You do not have to have a child or a grandchild to be have that role.
That's right. As a community, we protect children.
Yes, absolutely. And so we want to promote the self-guided online courses, especially in our faith communities. It's amazing to me now, as I'm learning and growing in this, that how many congregations do not have like this type of information, safe policies, or know how to report. So we really try to do work on that. And then we talk about our policies. And as you scroll down a little bit further, you'll go into support, and you'll see some of your work here under the support button. Again, what we really want our faith communities to know is that they really do provide hope, and their work is already this work. we're just giving them some tools and resources and, you know, trainings to continue to do this work and push it even more further. They implement all the protective factors. Most congregations do. And so these are links to our webinar that we did with some faith leaders and community leaders. I know Linda attended these. It was unbelievable. If you have spare time and that's something you want to do, I highly suggest listening to them. So we have a full webinar on the protective factors, and then each day we highlighted a protective factor and had a faith leader and or community leader talking about how they're implementing them in their congregations and communities. It's quite insightful. And then there was a virtual town hall together. This is another thing that we find very important in our faith communities and communities at large, is knowing where to go and making sure that people have access to know where resources are and how to direct people to resources. In fact, you're the one that I think Donna, you did that too. The resource guide is here.
Yeah, that's what Donna did. Yeah.
An example, and also the Connections Matter North Carolina resource tree. But again, just having these links for North Carolina readily available. And again, promoting that recommendation of using a warm transfer. So if someone comes into, say, a congregation or maybe into one of your buildings and they're really struggling, now, of course, you guys would know this, but to have these websites like tabbed on your phones, on your computers, and then, you know, actually sitting with the person and making that call with them and making sure that they're connected. You know, when we're experiencing trauma, it's really, really difficult for us to, you know, when someone comes in and is experiencing it, it's really hard for them to be able to think clearly, right? They're in their upstairs brain. We all know that. And so just sitting there with that warm connection can help them. And then of course, provide some protective factors as we work with them. So that's one of our recommendations. And then we highly recommend our statewide partners, North Carolina Council of Churches. They have a trauma-informed toolkit for our faith communities. They also offer some stipends and some financial assistance. And then IEI the same way. They're great resources for our congregations. And then finally, we go into Connect. And what we want to do in Connect, and talking about that again, is, you know, hosting a community cafe, Connections Matter. And then we talk about the Connected Congregations Children's Sabbath. We would love everyone to participate in it. And really, it's up to you how you want to make it. We just want to highlight connections, and we want to highlight connections and the importance of prevention. And so that's really like the goal of it, whether it be, I've had it in conversations with the AME churches here in Wilmington, and then we did a district-wide presentation, and they're going to do videos with their youth and post those online. They're going to do, you know, choose a weekend to do a full children's Sabbath across their congregations around the state. And they're making, you know, you make it as elaborate or not as you want. It really is just highlighting those connections. Again, there's a link to the Prevention Month, and that will give you to the toolkits. Reasons to educate, you know, why we're doing the Children's Sabbath and how to get involved. And this is one thing that I did want to show you, and that is the, I hope it pulls up. We have this infographic. Can you guys see it?
The Connections Matter, 80% of the brain growth happens.
Yes, yes. I just think this would be really cool to hang up even where you guys are. Caring interactions develop positive brain connections that improve mental health, right? Thinking, learning, managing stress. And we know thriving individuals develop supportive relationships that help people cope and heal. And as a result, communities grow strong and safe and successful. But then we talk about, but still today, individuals are more isolated than in previous times without proper support. People find unhealthy ways to cope, and then ongoing stress, and we know what that happens. And then it talks about what is your connection. And I just find that vitally important for us to continue to reiterate that, have that messaging available, put it on your Facebook posts. You know, you can print them out and frame them and put them in your places of work, but to continue to raise that awareness as we're talking about in
Are
that
you
stage.
still on that? Can you post that link directly into the chat box?
Absolutely.
Where that particular poster
Infographic is?
Yes. I really like that. I'm thinking of how we could connect that to our training that we'll do in April. You know, maybe we can post a link there for people to pull off or something.
We also have it in Spanish.
Fantastic.
So let me see if this will go in. Yeah, so thank you guys for letting me share all of these resources and you know what we have available. We would love for you to participate any way that you can and just be a part of it. It would be awesome.
So if you guys click on the chat box and then you can click directly on that link and it will take you directly there. So you can pull that off later or save it. And then you won't have to go looking for it. Tracy, I just want to commend you. I know that this was a lot of work for you and you've worked really hard to build this website up. It's just really amazing. It's filled with information. Thank you so much for using Harnett County's information. That, you know, we should, you know, feel very good that we were able to provide a document that, again, Donna, that was her concept, that one pager, you know, that's being used in so many places now and can be found on your website. Really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate it. And that document, that resource guide, to me says trauma sensitive all over the place. Like trauma, it opens up trauma conversations. It takes that shift completely. I mean, that is the picture of taking the shift from what's wrong with you to what's happened to you to what's right with you, and makes people feel okay in asking for help, taking away that this, you know, trying to destigmatize asking for help. That document does that.
We do have to put that document in Spanish. You know, that is something I saw Lee County had done. And I'm like, oh, I was talking to Carmen about that. So I think that Carmen had volunteered maybe, or Janine, I'm sure you could put it in Spanish too, probably. So that might be something we want to do moving forward. So we do have it in Spanish. But thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Donna. Look at that.
Thanks all of you.
Look at all that work you did, Donna, with that and how it's floating around the whole state now.
Oh my goodness, it is so exciting. My computer's going crazy trying to open the link that was in the chat box. Going back and forth. But I'm also excited, Tracy, to see that the Canva template used for secret weapons matches your website on Prevent Child Abuse. I was so excited.
Yeah. We can barely hear you, Donna, so I'm assuming you're traveling, but.
No. The laptop is underneath a large monitor and I can't get to the camera or the microphone the way I normally do. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'm trying to lift the lid and not knock over the monitor.
Technology, right?
Right. May I ask a quick question?
Yes, please.
I threw the secret weapons out there as a test to see if anyone thought it would be useful or if it's worth pursuing. If you think it's something I need to continue working with and sharing. If not, you will not hurt my feelings. I just threw it out there as a demo to get your feedback.
I like it. I mean, I think the concept of it is very catchy. Brittany, is that something that you guys are trying to use in the schools or will use if she completes that? Are you even allowed to do that?
Possibly. I mean, I would definitely be open to it, you know. So this is the toolkit that was shared before, right? Yeah, and because like I said before, I think it's really easy to use. It's friendly for us and it's friendly for parents. So I have no qualms with it at all. I think it's something that would be very beneficial.
Yeah, I think the information you give, Donna, is very good. You're very good at those kind of one sheet things, and the information is very relevant. So
Donna, Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, Sasha.
I was going to say, we've already shared it with our supervisor, and if there's a final form of it, we're going to be putting it out to all of our families. So I thought it was very helpful.
There you go, Donna. Does that give you confirmation to move forward? And
Okay, that's all I need to hear. I will jump all over it. And Brittany, I would love to work with you in the school system. And if you would like to add more topics and suggest them, and if you have content that you would like for me to put together and make a secret weapon with it, just shoot it my way, please. I'm so excited.
If you can you put the link in the chat again?
Yes, ma'am. I will find it and put it. Let me see.
Because I know our director of counseling has it, but I want to just confirm that they have the information that's fresh.
Absolutely. Two browsers are fighting on my screen right now. But
well, if you can't, Donna, you can always, you have Brittany's, you have all our emails. You can just email it again. If you can't.
Wait a minute, I have it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to run to a meeting that starts at 11, but I'm going to put a bunch of stuff in the chat, also updates that I wanted to give. But the one I want to highlight real quickly, and the meeting I'm about to go to, is that the System of Care Collaborative is putting together a youth panel to get input from youth about things that work and don't for them. And we would love to have more youth on that panel. The panel is going to be May 11th, and we're looking for youth ages 13 to 22. Involved in any system, that the mental health system, DSS, juvenile justice, any system that they'd be willing to give us their experiences about. And also I am coordinating the community resilience model training for Lee and Harnett County on April 21st from 10 to noon. And that is extremely relevant to what we talk about here. And just a different way that I really appreciated of looking at resilience in the community. And it can be a 2-day training, but we're doing the shorter version for hoping to get more participation. And this one's, I participated as, I'm sorry.
Resilience for Connection, is that the one?
It's called Community Resilience Model, CREM.
Okay.
Yeah. I participated as a parent through Wake County Schools and really found it to be a whole new light bulb moment for me. So I hope we'll have a lot of parent participation as well as, schools, anyone else. It's a different way of, I think, we've all heard a lot about trauma and resilience, but this was a different way of looking at it to me, and I really appreciate it. So I'll put all the upcoming information in the chat. I was trying to do it in one, and it looks like I'm going to need to do more than one. So sorry, you're about to get blasted with chats from me, and then I'll say goodbye, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Adrian. And the 25th, I'm going to sit on the panel. Can I like pipe in and introduce who we are and what we're doing with the Resilience Initiative?
Absolutely.
Okay, just so that those individuals know, juvenile justice people know that what we're doing. Thank you. And I do like putting things in the chat because I just click on it. It goes up to my server, and when I'm finished, I'll go through it and save it or look at it or, so, and if you guys aren't getting emails from Adrienne, she regularly sends them out, then go, just shoot her an email and she'll add you to the list, I'm sure, because she does a lot of parent trainings and things like that. I don't know if I've done the community resilience model training. I've done so many of them, I can't keep them all straight now. But thank you, Adrian, for sharing everything.
Absolutely. I'll see y'all soon. Thank you.
Thanks. Does anybody else have anything they want to add or any thoughts about today's meeting? Or we need to, again, going forward, there's a couple of things. So we're going to do a Connections Matter community training on the 13th, which will be April 13th, which will be virtual. And then we will hopefully soon host an online resilience screening with Suzanne and Prevent Child Abuse North Carolina. And so that is 2 big community events we can do. And then I really do want to move forward with the faith-based piece of this, Tracy. So we'll meet together and get some more pastors. And if you guys have pastors that may be interested, please send them our way and let them be part of hearing about this faith initiative that Prevent Child Abuse, or North Carolina, yes, I said it right. Prevent Child Abuse is doing and about children's Sabbath and stuff. So give us contact information. I think that's one of the reasons that we stall sometimes, is that you guys know people. You know, we all know people, but then we forget to say, oh, I know this person here, contact them. And of course, if it's personal, it makes it, you know, the opportunity to connect increases. I ask you guys if you have any thoughts or questions, and then I go on and on. So I'm going to be quiet for a minute.
I want to thank everyone for what you do. I am amazed just being in the classroom, and you're isolated at times. I mean, back in the day when I was in the classroom, but seeing and hearing about the work you do, it just blows me away. And I want to thank every one of you. Just thank you. And I am grateful to be a part of your group. So hope you have a great week.
Thank you, Donna. So in the chat box, Adrian has put March 25th. So when I saw this, it's Harnett JCPC program overview. So it's the JCPC stands for, I'm not sure. Brittany, you know what JCPC? It's Justice. I'm not sure what it stands for.
I know they engage with like community programming, the court system, DSS. So I mean, it's a combination of a variety of programs that just provide a lot of alternative programs for youth that are experiencing either some legal or some mental health challenges.
I see it now. It says Juvenile Crime Prevention Council is what.
Oh yeah.
It's right down there. I'm really interested in hearing it from these individuals that will be discussing their programs. And I think that ties really well into what we're doing. And my thing is, hey, you guys, y'all need to join us in this initiative, you know, and add your voice. So when I first saw it, I got really excited. I'm like, sign me up, because I want to know more about, you know, PALS and know more about the juvenile justice system and how we can connect. So.
And I think the good thing about these programs is like right now they're open to referrals, you know, so it's not like they're so overwhelmed that they can't, you know, work with us and work with the kids that we see. Like they're very open to, you know, making kind of their stroke a little broader.
Yeah. Oh, Tracy left. Bye, Tracy. Tracy is just wonderful and so supportive, and has been really supportive of what we're doing. So she has nothing but positive things to say about what we're doing here in Harnett County. It has been a real support for me. So she's great. All right, ladies. Too bad I can't say ladies and gentlemen, but I guess that's it. Are y'all good? Sasha, any last words?
I did want to say, just as far as you mentioned switching days up, we have medicals on Wednesdays, and we also have case review every other Wednesday. So Wednesdays are pretty crazy for us.
Okay. I'm thinking about putting out there the Tuesday, Thursday, and just seeing, I think it's the timing. You know, I have, you know, it's the timing of that 10 o'clock. It's kind of right there. It's just a weird time. So maybe it'll work better for people in the evening or afternoon rather. But I'm going to put a poll out there. So if you guys will complete the poll, that would be very helpful. All right. Thank you for your participation, spending this time with us. We appreciate all of you, and got good stuff going on. It's going to keep moving forward. So. Francis, good luck in your internship. Donna, thank you. Brittany, thanks. And
thank you.
Thanks. And then the rest of Harnett County Partnership for Children people, I'll just drop in and see you guys. All right. Bye.
Bye.